Okay, so let's look at this problem. They're telling us the sum of the reciprocals of two consecutive integers, keyword consecutive, is 11 over 30. What are the integers? So remember, integers are numbers like -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, and so on. They're not numbers like 1/2 or -1/3 or the square root of 7, right? Those are not integers, okay? So let's denote x by some integer, and the integer that comes before it could be x minus 1, or the one that comes after it would be x plus 1, right? So these are, of course, two consecutive integers, right? One after the other, okay? Now they're telling us that it's the reciprocal, the sum of the reciprocals are equal to, or the sum is equal to 11 over 30. So then that would be 1 divided by x plus 1 over x plus 1 is equal to 11 over 30. Okay, so we do, of course, want to solve for x, but we of course need to state the non-permissible values. So we can see that x cannot be equal to 0, right? And x cannot be equal to -1, right? That would be a problem for us. And so the next step is to, of course, multiply or find the lowest common denominator, right? So we can see this has a factor of x, this has a factor of x plus 1, and this has a factor of 30. So our lowest common denominator must be 30 times x plus 1, okay? And so let's multiply everything by the lowest common denominator, right? So we're going to have 1 over x times 30x times x plus 1 plus 1 over x plus 1 times 30x times x plus 1, okay? And this must be equal to 11 over 30 times 30x times x plus 1, okay? So what do we see? Well, this x is going to cancel out with this x plus 1 is going to cancel out with this x plus 1, this 30 is going to cancel out with this 30. So what we're going to have is 30 times x plus 1 plus 30 times x is equal to 11 times x plus 1. Okay, so now all we have to do is just distribute. So this term times this term times this term. So we have 30x plus 30 and plus 30x here is equal to, let's multiply out, right? This is going to be 11x squared plus 11x. And so if we combine these terms, we're going to get 60x plus 30 is equal to 11x squared plus 11x. So let's subtract 60x from both sides. Let's subtract 30 from both sides. So we're going to get, so minus 60x, minus 30. So we will have 0 is equal to 11x squared minus 49x minus 30. And so we've got ourselves a quadratic equation. And so we need to factor, right? So now we could use the cross method. So let's take the factors of 11 and 1, and let's take the factors of -30. We need to arrange these so that the sum of the cross products give us add up to -49. Okay, so we could go with let's try 6 and 5. And we could say, okay, why don't we make 11 times -5? That would give us -55, okay? And then we're going to have 1 times 6. So -55, right, plus 6 gives us -49, okay? So that'll work out. So we just have to put these numbers in their slots, right? It's going to be 0 is equal to 11x plus 6 times x minus 5. This is equal to 0. And so now we just have to ask ourselves what values of x would satisfy the equation. And we go, well, for here, x must be equal to -6 over 11, because if I plug this into here, we have 11 times negative 6 over 11. The 11s cancel out. We'll have negative 6 plus 6, 0. Great. And x equal to 5. Okay. Now, here's the problem, though. Negative 6 over 11, that's a rational number. That's not an integer. We're looking for two integers. Okay. So this x equal to 5, this is an integer. So x must be equal to 5, and therefore x plus 1 must be equal to 6. Okay, so the consecutive integers are 5 and 6. All done.